being, let's put the spotlight on TCS. Rima and Prashant caught up with the TCS top management to talk about the quarter gone by and more importantly about the outlook ahead. And they started off by asking about how the tariff war is impacting business.
We also been watching the news like you've been. Our customers are also doing that. But what we are saying is many of our customers are also in a wait and watch mode in terms of what is the end game going to be. But good thing is, like whatever we have seen so far, as much as the rhetoric, we have not seen our customers panic. Like there are maybe some programs what we thought that they would kick off, but some delays in decision making. But we have not seen any major cancellations or no major project ramp downs. Like there are few, but no major. So I don't think there is any major negative reaction so far.
You're saying this after the pause, or even when the tariffs were imposed and it looked like it could go on, you're saying no one really panicked, or it was wait and watch?
I have not seen leaks. I have not seen any major panic. Like there have been some, like some industries where it's been difficult. Like for instance, consumer business has been going through a tough time. Our airlines have been, but if you look at financial services has been doing okay. We have not seen any major disruption, like few delays here and there, but nothing major.
Have you spoken to clients in any segment after the pause?
After yesterday?
After the...
I had to prepare for a board.
I don't think anyone was sleeping, so...
I think you need 100 Krithis to speak to the 100 clients that...
But have you got any feedback in that sense? I mean, from your team in the US?
No, I have not had a chance to speak to our team since yesterday, but I also don't believe that there is any instant reaction is going to be of...
The reason I say that, I'm just going to press this a little bit more and then we'll get to numbers, that, you know, after what was announced, and even, I mean, this is the latest, economists, large bank economists are still predicting a recession, the probability of which was 80% 24 hours back, but now say it's 50%, 55%. A recession, real economic recession. So that's the context I ask you that question. What is your assessment, your own assessment now, on how this is going to play out for your business?
Prashant, that's what. I'm not an economist to predict anything.
No, but if those forecasts come true...
I will look at what my customers' immediate reactions or reactions the last 1 month has been. See, when I came and met you in the early part of January, I was sounding more optimistic. We were very sure that some early signs of recovery we have started witnessing. But as the quarter wore on, like we did see the uncertainties in the market, all the trade discussions, uncertainties. So made our customers sometimes delay the decision, pause some of the what we were expecting to start, or some of the programs that are awarded not start. So they wanted to, wherever they can wait and assess the situation before they have certainty. So there are such instances. But have I seen any major budget cuts? I have not seen any major budget cuts. I have not seen any major project cancellations. There are some tactical ramp downs here and there, but I won't panic at this time.
Was Q4, have you managed to steer clear in Q4 of this macro uncertainty, sporadic instances of ramp downs or project cancellations, or did Q4 also see an impact?
So the positive side of Q4, okay, all the major markets grew. Probably I think this is the first time in this year where all our major markets had a positive growth. And even from the business verticals, if you look at, of course, BFSI has been growing. BFSI, like every time I've been reporting BFSI in North America, but this time BFSI in Europe, UK also grew. And we had growth coming in energy resources and even comms. So we had, of course, comms and all grew marginally, but of course, all of them had a positive growth. So overall, if you look at from a major market perspective, it's been a good number. But was there an impact? Yes, there was an impact.
What was the extent of the impact?
See, I'm not going to quantify how much was the impact, but there's a marginal impact.
Okay. And what happens to the early signs of discretionary spending that you spoke about 3 months back? Where are we at?
See, if I look at this quarter's, the other indication could be our order book. Okay, our order book has come in still strong, in fact better than last quarter. Our order book is at 12.2. And of that, almost close to 7 billion has come from North America, 4 billion in BFSI, and close to about 1.7 or 1.6 coming from consumer business. And if I look at the discretionary spend portion of that, it remains same as the last quarter. And the good thing is, all this 12.2 billion has come in without the support of any mega deals also. If I take mega deals, this is actually the highest TCV in our recent history. So, so where I'm coming to, discretionary projects have not died down. There are probably some pause, and clients are thinking, should I start now or should I wait for a couple of more months till some certainty emerge? But otherwise, there is no major disruption to the overall situation.
What's the percentage of discretionary? What would you call discretionary as a total?
I would say about 30-40%. Like, I don't know.
We are not calling it out in the overall portfolio.
But roughly in the 30 to 40% or band, possible, right?
Possible. I say the ballpark could be.
Okay. Fair enough. Now let's just talk about Samir, the BSNL, and we always do this. So there was some expectation that margins would perhaps be higher. Because, and you've guided this as well, BSNL, you've said the margins are in single digit. As it ramps down, margins should get a lift. But that has not happened. Margins actually have come off a little bit. Can you explain what happened?
Sure. So our margins at 24.2% in the quarter, sequentially declined 30 basis points. BSNL overall, or our through the ramping down, did give a 40 basis points benefit. We actually had 50 basis points benefit also coming in from operating leverage, and support from currency giving us 40 basis points. The investments through the quarter, so we did tactical interventions, mainly merit-based interventions, that impacting us by 100 basis points, and another 60 basis points on elevated non-employee expenses, the likes of travel, events during the quarter, and higher CSR expenses.
So this is the other expenses, which...
It would come into travel as well as other expenses, is what you'll see on the...
Because the other expense component, the run rate used to be about 7,500 crores, gone up to about 8,000 crores.
Correct. So that's reflecting.
So that's
the marketing expenses also reflect.
And what would that number be in the future? What should we expect as a run rate? Yeah.
You can expect it around that. See, it's not a significant increase. If you take it's a 100, 200 crore, 300 crore increase sequentially. So it is still in that ballpark range.
Got that. And what about constant currency growth? I mean, is it possible to quantify that XF sort of BSNL?
So overall, constant, we, as Krithi mentioned, all our major markets have grown positively, and I think the only degrowth you will see will be coming in from the India perspective.
So the constant currency is down 0.8%.
Yes.
And the estimate that I have is X of BSNL, actually there's a growth.
So if you were to calculate the major markets growth, it would ballpark be in the positive 0.6%.
0.6. Milind, Q1 wage hikes on track. And given the uncertainty, will the increment amount be similar to last year or lower?
Given the uncertainty, you said, we will decide when to do the increments.
So typically, you roll it out 1st April.
Yeah, but this year we will decide when to do it increments based on the environment.
So you're deferring wage hikes as of now?
I'm saying, I will not use the word defer, but yeah, yes, it will decide it when it happens.
Okay. And what about your plan? You typically hire 40,000 freshers.
Yeah, so we did 42,000 FY25.
Last year.
FY26 will do either equal or a little more.
Okay. For the last so many years that I've been looking at TCS, your talent management was best in class. Your attrition was always lower than peers by a couple of basis points, sometimes 500, 600. But this time, the gap between you and your peers has narrowed. This time, as in the recent past. What explains that disconnect?
I think it is the way LTM is calculated. We peak, different companies peak at different times, right? If you look at our quarterly annualized attrition, we actually has come down significantly this quarter. So I'm not much worried about that.
Not much. Krithi, while you're not majorly concerned and you're not seeing major disruptions, major cancellations or ramp downs, there are some instances of it. Sure. Give us some more nuance on that. Which are the verticals which will be most impacted?
As I said, consumer business, auto. These two I hear most often. Like as I said, comms I want to, while we had a growth, but I need to see whether it sustains. Tech business has grown, I think last quarter also it grew, right?
Yes.
Tech,
but
tech
going forward in terms of headwinds?
That's what I'm saying. Like tech as a professional services could be within tech, like we also include professional services. There could be a softness in professional services. So I would say from order wise, like consumer business, which includes retail, CPG, travel, airlines, and auto, and professional services. I would say these could be softer. Core banking, I'm finding so far resilient, and there are good opportunities in pharma and healthcare.
And last time you also said that FY26, so calendar year 25, looks better than calendar year 24, especially for the international markets. Do you hold on to that?
So if you look at our FY25 growth, it's been better than FY24 growth. However small the difference is.
What about this year?
That's what I'm coming to. So I believe FY26 will be better than FY25.
Stripping out BSNL.
I would want to do it with or without BSNL. I want it to be better, but definitely still.
I asked this last time also. So 3% is the BSNL is about 3% of revenues.
Yeah.
Overall, CC growth for this quarter is 4.2%.
Yeah, but so that is going to wind down by the end of the year, FY26.
Yeah, it should be. The current contract should be winding down in Q1.
So there is that, and then there is all this trade uncertainty, etc. But obviously, I mean, you're kind of factoring all that in when you say.
If you say it will be better, definitely our international market will be better.
Right.
Okay. Whether if I after XBSNL, definitely we hope that it will be better. And I should not say definitely. We are confident it will be better. Okay. Including BSNL, there's every likelihood that there's an aspiration to make it better.
But it's very rare when TCS decides not to roll out wage hikes on the due date.
That's primarily because he's been talking about is yesterday better than today. Okay, there is so much of uncertainty. Like we just want to ensure that we are in the right place to offer the.
But if all this kind of settles down, it's possible, right? There's this 90-day pause which has happened, and who knows? I mean, maybe the outcome finally is much better than what we know now. You will roll this out. I mean, this is
absolutely.
So this is primarily on account of this uncertainty.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Right. In the US, in terms of hiring in the US, your employees, I mean, all that. Is there anything which has changed from the last time we spoke?
No, we continue to hire there. We actually had a good hiring this quarter itself, and that model is very robust for us. So we continue to hire both from the market and from the campus.
Because you keep hearing all these, some legislation has been moved to do this, to do that. I mean, just a lot of noise. I'm not sure how much of that actually is happening on the ground.
Yeah, that matter is under litigation, so I will not be able to comment on that. But as it comes, I'll update you.
Krithi, the feedback seems to be that ex of BSNL last year, your growth in developed markets was weaker than peers. What would you attribute the reason to? Is it less aggression on sales? Are you focusing too much on margins? Is Gen AI deflationary? What explains the underperformance versus peers for the international markets?
See, two things. Okay, not two things. First, like you say, you take BSNL out of our revenue. You take the inorganic growth out of the revenue of our competition, then you compare. Like most places, I would guess, it's whatever the difference you see, like BSNL, it's more or less equivalent to the inorganic growth others had. So if you take BSNL out for us, you take the inorganic growth for others.
So you don't think you've underperformed?
I don't think we have underperformed. It's either the inorganic growth or the BSNL.
Okay, well, that's the TCS top management. The headline seems to be that there are some tactical ramp downs, basically people deciding whether to start projects now, 1 month later, 2 months later. but those projects are there. There is no cancellation. There are no ramp downs. None of that is happening at this point, according to TCS. There has been a lot of short covering in this space, the IT space. Stocks have been smashed. The question is, will we see some covering today? And I think the answer perhaps is yes. In a minute or so, we'll start with the pre-open session, and we'll have the rates come up quickly when they finally start to settle down a little bit.